Okay, let's talk a little bit about Gavin Newsom, shall we? He has found himself in some hot water as of late. And yes, this is not the normal environment you find me in. I am performing my civic duty at jury duty today. So go do your civic duty if you're called. But there are a lot of left-leaning creators on this app and various other social media apps that are dragging Governor Newsom through the mud. And the only thing I would say to those creators is that I hoped we learned something in 2024 about single-issue voting or protest voting. I'm not saying Gavin Newsom is going to be the nominee for president in 2028. I'm not saying I agree or disagree with what he said about trans athletes. All I'm saying is the Democrats are very good about cutting off our noses to spite our faces. To say nothing of the fact that 2/3 of Democrats, according to polling, agree with Gavin Newsom's position on trans athletes. Voting for politicians, specifically presidential politicians, is a lot like the bus system. There is no bus that's going to take you exactly to the destination you want to go. You get on one bus that's going to get you pretty close, and you take that bus until it doesn't serve a purpose anymore. You get off that bus, and you got to get on a new bus to get a little closer, right? Then you get off that bus, maybe you got to take an Uber now. Then maybe you got to take a taxi, and then you got to walk up some stairs and get on a new bus at a new bus station, and then go a little further. That's how voting should be looked at. No voter is going to agree with everything that one particular politician does or says. That's just not how people work, let alone politicians. So, my fellow Democrats, I'm going to end with a question based on a hypothetical becoming true. Let's just say it is Newsom versus Vance 2028. That's the presidential race. Who do you think, regardless of what your personal position on trans athletes is, who do you think would be more susceptible to changing their views on that position once they're in office? Do you think J.D. Vance would change his position on that based on public opinion or public polling? Or do you think Gavin Newsom is more likely to change his position based on public polling or even what legislation gets passed in Congress? In that scenario, which bus to take, in my opinion, seems like a no-brainer.